Hi guys, and welcome to Eating to Lose 150. Today is April 11th, 2018, and about a week ago I went keto. I went low carb. I find that if you say you went low carb, it dissuades a lot of the horrible comments and snarky questions, and it's just easier for everybody involved. Wanted to talk about a couple of things. When I started on April 3rd. So I'm a newbie, but I have a medical background, and I'm not new to the research. I'm just new to doing it myself. So when I started, I was 278.4, but in all fairness, that was a one-day alcohol bloat because the day before was the equivalent of my New Year. So it was a lot of alcohol, a lot of fatty carbs, and so what had been happening prior is that I was stagnant at between 275 and 277 for about 6 weeks. I was calorie counting at that point. I've been calorie counting forever. And I was steady between 12 and 1400 calories a day, and things weren't necessarily proportionate to each other with the exception of being low calorie. So while I didn't limit my carbs, I didn't go crazy on the carbs either. I was right around 100 grams of carbs a day. So I had spoken to a friend, and I do consider her a friend. I had spoken to a friend, and in a nutshell, she talked about keto, and she tried to sell me a supplement. She didn't try. She wasn't pushy about it at all, as a matter of fact. And actually, I considered it at that point until I did a little more research on those supplements, and it wasn't for me. I didn't see the point to spend that egregious amount of money on something that I could attain quickly, consistently, and solely with food intake. So I passed on the option to purchase from her. However, that was the final nail in the coffin, or the kick in the pants, or however you want to put it, that made me go keto. Now, I will tell you, I think the transition was so easy because I was already calorie restricting. And I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't taking in an enormous amount of carbs to begin with. So to trim them out, to reduce them further, it wasn't, and it isn't that big of a deal for me. It's not like I came from donuts and pastries to, oh my God, no carbs, which is essentially what this 20 grams of carbs is nothing. And it's all from either vegetable sources for me, or like my heavy whipping cream. My sweetener up until yesterday had carbs because it's powdered form, so it has to be bound to something to be powder. So it wasn't that big of a deal for me. What is a big deal for me that I'm finding is realizing in my head that fat is okay, and it's okay to eat more than 1,200 calories a day. Mind you, I'm 5'7". I've got a lot of weight to lose. When I discussed my weight loss originally with my physician, he said, Holly, eat 1,200 calories a day. The weight will fall off. Eat 1,200 calories a day. Coffee. And he specifically said, because I asked him, I said, then what's my calorie ceiling? And he was like, I think if you eat more than 1,500 calories a day, you'll gain weight. And I'm thinking, that's, in the grand scheme of things, maintenance or weight loss or not, that's not a lot of calories, no matter what the source is. And I'm thinking, holy crap, he thinks if I eat 1,500 calories a day, I'm going to gain weight. Like, that's oppressive. No matter what diet you're doing, no matter what way of eating or diet or whatever you want to call it is, that's not a lot of calories. So then I'm thinking, if I'm going to gain weight at 1,500 ultimately, then what's my maintenance calorie intake gonna look like, you know? Anyway, since I've gone keto, I have stuck under 20 net, excuse me. I'm sorry, 20 net carbs a day, firm. Protein, I don't know my numbers off the top of my head. Carbs, 20 net a day, ceiling, absolute ceiling. Most days protein, 60 to 80, sometimes a little bit more. Fat, 110-ish is my guideline. If I reach it, I reach it. If I don't, I don't. Yesterday, for example, I packed my stuff. I'll have my coffees now, and then I won't eat. Now these have calories, and I'll go into that in a second. I don't think I had my first snack or any semblance of a meal until was it 4:30, 5 o'clock? And then I had my almonds and, no, I had those first. No, I had my eggs first. I had my eggs and my bacon first. And then I had my almonds and pork rinds later in the evening. I didn't even end up touching my chicken and my asparagus. I ended up having a half of a sausage. One of the wildest things to me on keto is I'm not ruled by hunger anymore, even this soon in. And I noticed it like second or third day of keto. It's odd because I'm not thinking, now mind you, while I have my stuff packed, you know, I plan my day, I plan my intake every day, so it's not a surprise to me. But I don't wonder, like I said, I think I said it in another video, when I was calorie counting, I'm like, okay, I'm going to have this now, and in 2.5 hours, I'm going to have this, and then 2.5 hours from that, I'm going to have this, and then I'm going to have this, and I'm going to have this. So I was having anywhere between 3 and 6 small meals. I was, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and 2 snacks. I was having 5 meals a day, and it was 1,200 calories, so really, how big were they anyway? But that's gone. And it's funny because I was telling somebody at work about this, and I told her, and I don't mean to offend anybody before somebody sees this and gets pissy. I told her, I said, it's like a come to Jesus moment, because the clarity and the change is so immediate, it's startling, and it's almost too good to be true. But it's actually happening. One of the things I absolutely do every day is I take my electrolytes. I take my electrolytes at least twice a day. And what I have found in the past week is that, like, that 3 p.m. sluggishness and all that crap, like, on any given day, I could drink a pot of coffee without a hesitation, without a problem. Any given day, I could drink a pot of coffee. Now, 2 cups, and I'm good. I'm good. And when I find that, like, 3 p.m. and the thing is, I work 3 to 11. So when I start getting sluggish at 3 o'clock, because I've been up all day already, the first thing I want to do is run to a cup of coffee. Well, I take my electrolytes in the morning with my multivitamin and my vitamin D with my coffee. And then around 3 p.m., I'll take my second pack of, I didn't bring any with me, my second pack of electrolytes. And they're not caffeinated, but they give me the energy for the next 8 hours. It's the oddest thing, and I almost feel horrible that I never made the connection. That I was putting all this stuff into my body thinking, like, even waking up, like, I'd be so sluggish through the day and I'd be sleeping like crap. That's gone too. Now, mind you, I need a new mattress, so that's a subject for another video. But generally speaking, once I'm awake, I'm awake. Now. I only do 2 cups of coffee. It's just, guys, if you haven't tried it yet, you have to try it. But I will caution you to stay off the Facebook groups and do your own research, because they have some very strong opinions and refuse to let you have your own. And I find as a medical professional that that's ridiculous, and people just give out incredibly wrong advice. Do not go onto the Facebook groups. Just don't do it. There's a couple I would recommend, like I think it's called Women on Keto, and then there's the Keto Without Being Bougie. But even, and I love Keto Connect on YouTube, ketoconnect.net, and they have a Facebook group, and I don't know if it's necessarily theirs or one of their sponsors, but generally speaking, some of the people I've run into there are ridiculous. And I've already signed up for and left several groups because they're just so out there. They're just, it's unbearable. And these people are just giving horrible advice. Like, yeah, do a 5-day fast if you're in a stall. What the hell are you doing? Like, that's for another video. So when I started, I was 278.4, and like I said, to be fair, that was a beer bloat. I was around 276, 277. Today is day 9, and I am 266.4. I did take my measurements the day I started, and then I took them a couple of days after, and I'm down 12 inches. 12. A foot. That blows my mind. Any given day can look something like this. I do my coffees. They're butter cappuccinos, which is the real term, which is what they actually are. But I use, I was using Zing. I was using powdered stevia, but I did end up ordering stevia drops because the powdered stevia is bound to a carbohydrate source to make it powdered. The drops are not. So those have 0 net carbs. I'm sorry. So my coffee has 18 grams of coconut oil, 5 drops of stevia at this point, and then a tablespoon of heavy whipping cream. I have 2 of those, and that puts me somewhere at like 360 calories. I want to say 28-ish grams of fat, something like that. And these keep me full until whenever. I found that yesterday to be a turning point in my hunger. Like, I was obsessing with the clock, and I'm like, okay, it's, you know, whatever time, and I haven't eaten, and okay, it's later and I still haven't eaten, but then I'm thinking, stop, like, are you really hungry? And I really legitimately wasn't hungry. So my mind is going to have to catch up. My mind and my clock watching from my calorie counting before starting keto is going to have to reset. That's something I'm going to have to work on every day. So yeah, that was interesting yesterday. I think yesterday was a turning point. I didn't have the keto flu because I took my electrolytes, and I take them, period. I take my electrolytes twice a day. I didn't have the keto flu. My water, I've always been a very good water drinker. So I never had any problems with that. I don't own a ketone meter. I don't have plans on it. It's not necessary. What else? I'm thinking that's it for right now. This video is getting kind of long. I think that's it. But yeah, the mental clarity, the energy, the sleep quality, I'm not as on edge. There's been a lot of positives even this soon into this way of life. And I've never really said that about any other diet because it's never happened with any other diet. And I was talking to a girl about this last night at work, and if you look at the standard American diet, even what we feed our patients, it's all sugar. Why are we eating that much sugar? Why? And I don't even mean donuts and crap. I mean, yesterday, meal was meatloaf, gravy, mashed potatoes, and corn. Corn is sugar. The mashed potatoes are sugar. The gravy has a starch base, which is sugar. So 3 of 4 things was sugar. Why are we doing that? It's because it's what we've been fed for years and years and years. And like I said, even now, I'm trying to break myself of some of the old stereotypes that have been shoved down our throat since we were all in existence, since we were born. But anyway, that's it. I'll get off my soapbox. If you have any questions, comment below. This video is 16 minutes and 27, 28, 29, 16 minutes and 30 seconds long. I appreciate it if you stuck around this long. If you have any questions or comments, comment below, guys. Let me know anybody's seeing this. I will talk to you later. Bye, guys.